Go ahead. Are you singing?
Yeah.
Sing for me. What'd you do? What'd you and Daddy ride? What'd you ride? Say, four-wheeler. Four-wheeler. Four-wheel. Good job. Did you play in the mud?
No.
You didn't?
Yep.
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
Did you sling mud everywhere?
No. Yay.
Yes. Did you have fun?
Yay.
Do you like the mud?
Yay.
Did you ride your big wheel?
Yep.
Did you go too far? Did you go too far on your big wheel? Daddy didn't have to chase you?
Yep.
Yeah. What was you wearing? Was you wearing something over your eyes on your big wheel? What was it? Your sun glasses. Yeah. Like mine. What are you doing now? In the bath. Yeah. Hey everybody, it's Brianna. I'm hopping back on this week to talk about apraxia of speech. Those of you who didn't watch my video last week, I will link it in the description box below, and you can watch that and learn what apraxia of speech is. I'm not a professional. I'm just a mom, and I'm trying to bring awareness because I am my son's voice. This week I want to talk about the journey of apraxia that we have had. When Isaiah was born, we started paying attention really early about his development because my cousin is a SLP major at Marshall University, and I'm hoping to have her in my video next week, so stay tuned for that. Savannah had, which is my cousin that is a SLP major, she had to do projects for classes, and it had to be a certain age range of children, and Isaiah normally fell in that age range. Well, he was on track until he was 15 months old, and when he was 15 months old, he appeared to be choking at our home that we lived in at the time. Well, it was very scary. Me and Hunter and Isaiah were the only ones home. My friend had just left, and after I called the ambulance, I tried to call my mom, my mother-in-law, and my husband, and nobody answered. And I called my friend that had just left, and she luckily turned around. The ambulance finally got to him, and as soon as they seen him, it was like his ribs were like going in, and I could tell he was struggling breathing. As I was waiting on the ambulance, I was trying to get what I thought he was choking on out. I done everything I could not get anything to come out, and we finally got in the ambulance. The ambulance looked at him, and they didn't even fill out any paperwork. They started working on him right away. He was turning blue, and then even turning a grayish color. He wasn't getting oxygen, and they called the helipad and said, "We have a lifeless 15-month-old." Well, when we got to the helipad, they finally put an IV in him, and not 2 minutes later, after the IV was put in, whatever was in that brought him back. I don't know. And he let out a big scream, and everybody on the helipad started crying. They said that was the best noise they had heard all day. It was the most scary thing I'd ever went through. Well, we got in the helicopter, and he was still a little restless and kind of, how should I say it? Kind of irritated acting. But he was, aware of everything in the helicopter. It was fine. Well, we got to the hospital that they flew us out to, and we was in the ER, and they done an x-ray, and he didn't have nothing. He hadn't swallowed anything. Well, then he started doing it again, having the same little episode. And it wasn't as long this time, but it was enough for them to see what he had done. And the nurse that was down there called up to the peds floor and said, I think he just had a seizure. He just quit breathing. It wasn't nothing else. He just quit breathing. And it kind of looked like he was choking, like he was going because he couldn't get the air. Well, they said that afterwards what he was doing was a lot like what people do after a seizure. So he said, I think he's having a seizure. We stayed in the hospital on the peds floor for 48 hours. He had a EEG on his head for 24 hours. He had an MRI with contrast, and everything came back clear. And I truly believe that God heard our prayers, and all of us in agreement that we needed to keep Isaiah. And there's no other explanation. I don't question it. That's how it is. Well, after we got out of the hospital and Savannah started doing more of her projects where she had to see what his progress was, she started noticing that he was not any further along in speech. If anything, he went backwards in speech. And I know I've done the research. I know that everything says they're born with it. But I'm telling you, in my opinion, he was not. And they didn't rule that a seizure. We call it an episode because everything came back clear on the MRI and the EEG. And we don't know what happened that day. Medically, they cannot write it down as a seizure. But the neurologist told us she's 99% sure that that's what it was. But she can't medically write it down as one because there was no sign on the MRI or the EEG. But as far as the apraxia goes, we was not yet diagnosed with it after that. He was 15 months old at that time. And then my cousin kept saying, Brianna, you need to take him to speech. You need to get him checked. And that's my baby. I didn't want nothing to be wrong with him. And I just thought, I kept saying, it's just a speech delay. It's okay. It's okay. Hunter didn't talk until he was 2.5, which was what Isaiah was. Or, no. What Isaiah was before I started taking him. When he hit 2.5 is when I started taking him to get checked. So at 2.5, we went to the pediatrician, and I said his speech isn't going anywhere. It's still, he's not saying a lot of words. That's my washer washing on the other side of the wall, if y'all hear that. But he's not saying anything new. He's not putting together a sentence. All he says is mom. And this was at 2.5 years old. And so she had us go to an ENT to check his ears. We went to get his ears checked. Twice we tried to wake. He wouldn't cooperate. And we thought he had some hearing loss maybe. And he might have to have a hearing aid. Well, the third time we went back to the ENT, they put him to sleep to check his ears, to check his hearing, and it came back 100%. So as soon as we got that back, we started speech the next week. And our speech therapist was God sent. She prayed with us, cried with us, laughed with us. She's been a blessing, to say the least. And she said that she wouldn't tell me anything until she thought she knew for sure. So she done her first evaluation. Then she done her, I think, is it 30-day? I think she had to do a 30-day evaluation every month or every 30 days. And in the end of May of 2019, he was diagnosed with childhood apraxia of speech. And my heart sank. I don't know why. I'm just a mom, and I didn't want nothing to be wrong with my baby. And I thought, Lord, what am I gonna do? I don't even know I don't know any sign language. I don't know how to help him. What can I do? And finally, so I had a friend tell me he could have been gone that day that he quit breathing. He could have died, and this is nothing compared to that. So I just pulled up my big mom pants and dealt with it. And now I wouldn't trade it no other way. He is who he is, and he's perfect the way he is. And I have had so many prayer and so much meditation, I guess you could say. It's not really meditation. I just sit there and I think, and I feel like something's telling me he's going to use his voice, and he is going to be able to sing, shout, preach if he wants to. He's going to have a voice, and he's going to have an anointed voice. And I truly believe that. He is my wild child. And I can't believe he ain't came in here yet. Some things we do at the house that helps Isaiah is when he reaches for something and he's just pointing, I'm like, you gotta say it. Like he'll want a banana. Sometimes you have to simplify things before you can get to the actual word. So if he wants a banana, he has to say nana, nana. And that's just an example. And then Hunter, we told him what happened and why Bubby's not talking. And he said, well, he will one day. And he just shook it off and was like, he'll be all right. Kids know. Kids probably know. They feel it more than we do. But he helps a lot, because if they're playing with their toys, I mean, don't get me wrong, they fight. They fight all the time. But a lot of times I'll try to catch them in a video, them playing with their toys, and they're trying to make them talk to each other, and he's helping him. He don't even realize he's helping whenever he's tremendously helping. And he's one's Batman and one's Spider-Man, and they're talking, and he's trying to get them to say some words. And here in the last week, Isaiah has been saying a lot more. Last 2 weeks, he said kitty the other day. Whenever we went to our neighbor's house, he said kitty, and I did get a video of that. He has been saying me help you, and stuff like that. And that's the first time he's put 3 words together, so that's amazing. I'll put a video in. A lot of times during bath time, we talk about his day, and we try to get him to say something, because it's like the water relaxes him and helps him kind of focus. I think that's more because of the sensory issues. But he has when he gets in the bathtub, he focuses really well and talks to us really well. And then if we have 2 sandboxes, one upstairs on the outside deck and one downstairs, and either one of those, it's like it just soothes him. It's like he'll fall asleep in it. And he loves whenever he goes to speech, and they have a thing, it's like a container, and they put beans or little pebbles or rice or something down in it, and they hide toys down in there, like little spider rings or little dinosaurs or little things you get at the Dollar Tree. And that's a sensory thing that you can do at home that's real easy for anybody that's looking for stuff like that. He also loves keys and locks and stuff, and I plan on making a lock board and a sensory board like that. I haven't made it yet, but I plan on it. It's one of my projects coming up. Well, I think that is all for the day. I know y'all just kind of watched me babble on, but I mean, that's our journey, and that's where it is. And I can't speak for Justin. I think that he was trying to be strong for me, because he's seen how much of a wreck I was. I don't think that he really said anything. I don't remember him saying anything about the apraxia whenever he first got diagnosed with it. He jumped right in and was like, okay, let's help him. Let's get going. But Isaiah couldn't do anything without his team. And his team is the biggest part. And school helped him socially, like, tremendously. And he started doing a lot there. And I've had a lot of people message me and asking me questions, and I love that. So please, if you have anything to talk about, you can message me. And I had somebody comment like potty training tips, and I love comments like that too. And I mean, every child's different. I can tell you what happened between me and Isaiah and what we done, but I mean, that doesn't mean that it's going to work for everybody. But I'm happy to tell you what we done. I mean, potty training an apraxia child was difficult. And I tried for a long time to get him to say potty in sign language, which is this. And I tried to get him to say potty, but he never did. He would always tug on me and point at himself, at his privates. And that's how he told me he needed to go to the bathroom. And I would use a sticker chart, and I would have it in the bathroom, and he would get to put 1 sticker if he went number 1 in the potty, and 2 stickers if he went number 2 in the potty. And he loved that. And I made up a little dance, and I was like, you pee-peed in the potty, and then all that. And so we just made it real fun and tried to make it like a party every time. And he really enjoyed that. And then he went to school, and it wasn't, when he went to school, he wasn't potty trained for I think the first week. But he had an assistant. But then he went to Head Start. And then after that first week, I think he pretty much was potty trained, which I was late to the game because he had no interest in it whatsoever. I was hoping he'd come in here and talk to y'all. Isaiah. Isaiah. Come here. Let's see what he'll say to us. I'm in here in my room. Let's see if he'll say anything. I'm in my room, babe. Hi.
Hey.
How are you? What are you doing? What have you done today? Played with a dinosaur? What was you doing when I hollered at you?
Yeah.
What was you doing? Watching your phone?
Ooh. Ooh.
What do you want to say to everybody? How do you say thank you? Can you say kitty? Pizza? I love you. Yeah. Leave it alone right now. Let's talk. What other words can you say? Thank you. Say me help you. Help me. What do you help me do? Clean the car? Can you say clean car? Clean the car. Good job. You need a haircut. Why? Okay, we're gonna.
Mom.
Oh, you got dinosaurs on your shirt. Say dinosaur. Shirt. Okay, tell everybody. Say remember to wear your blue on May 14th. Say wear blue. Blue. Say blue.
Boo.
Wear your blue on May 14th and post a picture with the hashtag Apraxia Awareness. We'll see y'all next week. Bum kiss. Bye.